Yo, 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 it's Misha Dex. Wait a minute.
Eh.
Nope, 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 nope.
What happened? You hear something?
Now you think you look cute today, huh?
You had you wait. Why would you do that? I'm thinking there's a problem. I'm thinking we're gonna have to take
There
two.
is a problem. You
Yeah.
are you are the problem. You feeling
Uh,
yourself?
can, can we start over, please?
No.
Okay. Okay. It's your boy, Keymon. How about that? How
Oh
about that?
man, this one here, boy. Life. I don't think nobody will ever understand how fun it is to get on your nerves. Like it is the top tier highlight of my day. Sometimes. But anyway,
Why is that?
because you just don't know what you gonna get. You don't know if you gonna start dying laughing or if you could, you can recover. Can we please take two? No. But it also gives me an opportunity to check your energy to see where you are in your day. And it seems like regardless of what's going on, you're still at peace.
Yeah, it's one of them things where I mean, we really don't have no choice, right? Like life is going to do what life is supposed to do or is
Mhm.
going to do, and I think it's that makes it that's the beauty of it is like we control the switch.
Yeah. I mean, if we can reach it, sometimes we can't reach it.
Yeah,
Like I,
yeah,
I find myself, whew,
yeah, yeah,
I
definitely.
found myself being like, yeah, I'm not okay.
Yeah.
But
So
anyway,
so how are you feeling with with everything that has happened for you in these, I mean, not even talking about the wedding, but just having your brothers on last episode, having the family event, um, the Saturday before, like how are you feeling with all that?
um, grateful. I'm grateful because despite some of the hiccups that have occurred in life recently, like it those hiccups remind you that there were better times. Um, I won't go into full disclosure. Like my little brother had to go to the hospital yesterday, and I found out today. And so I'm just waiting to hear some updates from him about that. But nothing that I need to, But it's like okay, 2 weeks ago you was just here, right? You was here. You catered all the food for the family function for the fight night, and um, it was even a point where my stepmom was doing his hair, braiding his hair, and he was like, "Hey, I gotta rewash my hair. I got too much grease in it." And I'd have been like, "Fool, this ain't time for that, right?" But I didn't do that. I was like, "Well, go upstairs to my bathroom and get the shampoo, whatever." I mean, it's those little things that you think about later on. And then this morning he called me and he was like, "Yo, I just wanted to let you know what happened to me yesterday. I'm about to go back in for testing, just to give you a heads up." And I was just like, "Yo, you was just here 2 weeks ago and it was fine, right?" So I'm grateful. I'm very grateful. Last week, much respect to my brother Nick for talking more than I thought he was,
Yeah.
and then of course my brother Jason Martin, aka Problem, making time to not just to allow us in his space in his world, but like really share something dear to him, which is his bond with Nick.
Mhm.
So that felt good. As far as the family function, it went good.
Cussed
Nobody
out.
got cussed out, kicked out, knocked out,
Yeah,
no
yeah,
outs.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
all locked in.
yeah.
And we had a good time. I did share a moment with my dad, and the more the time went by when they were there here at the house, I realized I didn't want to record him. And
Mm,
I think it was because he was just in his element, and he has multiple. It
mhm.
depends on which one you catch him in.
Yeah.
But I did want to share that at one point he caught me in the kitchen by myself and he wrapped his arms around me and he was like, "Your home is beautiful, and I'm proud of you."
Mm.
And I said, "Well, I hope you're enjoying it." And in true Reginald fashion, "Nah, I ain't." And then I already know, like, dang, we got the same personality. Like, we could be in a whole positive vibe, and here we come,
Mm.
just
Yeah.
fake being fake negative. But
Yeah.
overall, he had a good time. I set up the projector and the screen in the backyard,
Mm,
and he was vibing out. Like
mm,
he was in his zone. He said, "I could do this.
yeah.
I could
Yeah.
do this." So anyway, had a
So
good
it's
time with them.
so walk us through that first compliment. I mean, like walk us through that. How
Like
sent
what
chills
led to it?
down, like, no, not necessarily, but like the moment for you, like sent chills down your body, like how, like,
It caught me off guard, but it didn't because I think I could have sworn I talked about this season one that my dad has been more affectionate towards me
mm,
in the last couple of years. So if anything, I gotta turn off that playfulness and be able to um, embrace him, right?
mm,
And also not miss opportunities of his growth, right?
yeah,
Regardless
yeah,
to things that I'm dealing with in my own head. But what it did was it started this ripple effect of being playful for the rest of the night. So, as much as I'm hospitable, I will sit behind and watch the scene, right? Take pictures, whatever. And so at one point, I noticed that every time my dad would walk in the house to get some ice for his Hennessy or whatever he was trying to get out the kitchen, um, he kept walking behind me and stopping. And I'll have my phone out looking at messages or whatever. And so finally I said, dude, why why you keep walking behind me? And he was like, I'm being nosy. I said, you know what? You are actually successful today.
yeah, yeah,
And he just bust out laughing, and then every time he walked by, I'm just being nosy, or just getting close to my phone because he can't see, so the phone is like in my
yeah,
hand like this and his head like this.
yeah. No,
So
that's dope. So when we talk about, in terms of cutting off the playfulness, and then
mhm,
in that you mentioned his growth,
mhm,
and obviously the start of this podcast, it was a letter to family and friends.
mhm,
So what growth do you want to highlight or celebrate for your dad right now, right here, right now?
mhm.
What would
His
you?
level of affection, I think he's
Mm,
becoming more self-aware. So remember when we went to the studio with Nick and Jason, what did Jason say? He was like, Pops didn't know how to be a father to a girl. He had
yeah,
all these boys,
yeah, yeah,
and then here you come throwing off the rhythm ticks,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And I sat with that clearly because I brought it back up just now. Like I sat with that and I was like, dang, it's true. Like my dad, um, who knows what his ideal relationship with
mm,
women in his fullness, right? Like
mm,
not just his daughter, but his mother, his
mm,
sisters, and then the women he's encountered in his life. No, it's no telling, but I had to think about that after Jason said that, and I realized I am the one of one for him.
mm, mm,
Like he has more than one sister.
yeah,
Yes, he has one mother, but has different mother figures, right?
mm,
Um, and he's had multiple women partners, right, in
yeah,
friendships. But he only has one daughter. Like
yeah,
that, and then when you even think about him having one mother, he was her responsibility. So
mm,
I'm one of one because I'm his responsibility,
yeah,
right? I'm a choice he made, and so understanding that he may not always have the playbook,
mm,
and even though he's 70, and at 70, it's just now dawning. Like I need to tell my daughter I love
mm,
her.
mm,
I need to hug her. I mean, I'm seeing several stages of growth, but also I'm understanding that I'm being more understanding. Like as simple as
yeah,
that. Like, okay,
yeah,
he doesn't get it. And I can't imagine at this age having a child or multiple children at that and trying to figure out everything all at once.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'll give that to him.
Definitely can relate to not having a playbook, and we talked about it, and that's huge. That's huge. I mentioned how I went to my cousin's house for Fourth of July, and
Mhm.
they finally met Liska, and where they were around her, and they were like, "Oh, proud of Keymon because he's showing growth or whatever." And my response to that was like, always been the mission. I just didn't have the playbook. Like
Hmm.
it looks different versus with them. They're both sides between his wife's parents and his parents. They've been married for over 40 plus years. So
Right.
they saw what it and until this day I talked to my cousin about, the problems that I possibly be frustrated with at home, and he always referenced in my uncle.
Hmm.
And it's just like, damn, that's dope. And I recognize that and I acknowledge that. And every time he referenced my uncle, I really take that in terms of the message that's being relayed,
Yeah.
because it's a tree from wisdom, right? Like I'm getting the message based off of a person who obviously who's not here anymore. But they say, what, you sit at the feet of the old folks and you gain wisdom. So
Yeah.
just having that access to still unlock that wisdom box is major.
And you just said something that the analogy of the tree of wisdom, right? And where are trees usually found? Outside.
Hmm.
They're outside.
Hmm.
And
I was gonna
so
say forest, but
I know, I see. But that's still outside. The
yeah,
point being,
exactly,
trees are
exactly.
not, I mean, unless you have a unique architectural structure in your home,
Hmm.
trees are usually outside. And what I got from that is you got to step outside to witness it.
Yeah.
And the analogy is step outside of self, like
Mm-hmm.
not always leaning on what you think you know, or because you said it, you like that was always the plan.
Yeah.
And I think you just needed to step outside
Hmm.
and really actually connect. I mean, I think about even when people talk about groundwork, you literally have to be outside and be barefoot on the ground
Yeah.
to be physically and spiritually grounded. So, hearing this tree of wisdom, I wonder how many people just haven't stepped outside of themselves to realize that there is something to be gained from these trees.
Yeah.
But I love that you always can reference back to that moment of growth for even self, because people are not self-aware, and I think that's something you've always called me out on in a good way, like you just self-aware. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm nobody else know this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
ain't self-aware with everything.
Yeah.
So I know we talked about me being with my dad, but you also got to spend time with your dad at the same time. What was that?
I just think it was on a different platform, right?
Mhm.
Obviously we're in Vegas, so it wasn't really no moments outside of looking across the roulette table, and seeing him enjoying himself. And then there was one dealer who was like, "Yo, is that your son?" And just how he was just so excited to tell everyone first that he started at 16. Like, nigga, like, like, like what? But outside of that, just the excitement, um, he expressed, just telling everyone like, "Oh, this is my oldest," and what I was doing, what I had going on, and that did something for me in terms of just the little appreciation,
Right.
because
So
I
wait, your dad was 16 when he had you?
yeah, I think he's 17. I think like he probably
Oh
got
wow.
pregnant.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
think we
So
ever talked about that, but that
yeah,
makes sense when we think about age, right?
well, yeah, because I'll be 40. I'll be 43. He just turned 60. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So talk about not having a playbook,
Yeah.
right? And outside of not having a playbook, but also moving around and having more kids without having a playbook, that's a whole different level of stress that possibly comes with it. And we all know that, you know,
Wow.
like people run from stressful situations, and not again, not holding them accountable, but just being able to see it in real life in Vegas. It was dope. It was dope. So
I'm over here thinking, because we over here grown
mhm.
and we be having these expectations of things, and now I'm like, dang, 17. right? No wonder why he proud. He not just talking about him being proud of you. He proud of himself for still being able to function,
Yeah.
regardless. But I don't think I realized he was that young.
Yeah.
And now it's all
Yeah.
it all makes sense,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And but also like the knowledge you're gaining about his journey. Like
Yeah.
so I had the wedding this weekend, and
Mm.
so multiple things had to take place. I had to get my nails done, had to get my hair done, like, and then eventually got my makeup done at the wedding. But I want to talk to you about the different steps that I experienced. And one of the steps was getting my nails done by my friend Nicole.
Mm.
Now, most people when they see Nicole, and I asked her if she want to come on on the podcast to talk more and give her verbal confirmation of what I'm about to say next. Uh, and it's about growing up as a black woman who was passing, meaning no one ever knew she was black.
Mm.
She grew up with her Caucasian side, which is her mother.
Uh,
And while we were doing my nails, the conversation came up about the N word.
mm.
And I've never in my 20 plus years of friendship with her ever seen her flustered.
Mm.
And she was like, no, she was like, no, I don't say that word.
Mm.
She was like, I don't have the privilege or I
Mm.
cannot say that. I said, but Nicole, you a nigga.
Mhm.
But I said it being funny with the intention of soften because I've never seen her so tense. I
Yeah.
said it to make her laugh and to soften it, but also to measure like, hmm. So she talked about growing up and always passing as either white or Hispanic to
Mm.
people. Very proud to be a black woman, but just
Mm.
doesn't visibly look like one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so what I thought about was, wow, we are always focused on, and we talk about our childhood
Mm.
and these black parents
Mm-hmm.
of ours and these struggles. But here we have to our left or our right, how many people that are passing
Yeah.
that feel like they can't even participate in the culture that they belong to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as simple as saying the N word. And
But why?
I,
Why is that? Is it because? And obviously, I know you talked to her about
mhm.
possibly joining, but is it because of mom was kind of like embarrassed of that side, or like what? No,
She
interesting.
totally, because her mom is interested in black men, she
Uh,
totally didn't, it wasn't even a matter of not embracing it, but what can you teach if you're not it?
yeah,
Her
yeah,
mom wasn't a black woman, so she
yeah,
couldn't raise her to be a black woman. She just raised the child she loved
yeah,
in the best way that she can. And but Nicole was very aware
mm,
um, that she was half black,
yeah,
right? And so she was like, growing up, the only discrimination in life she's ever faced was being overweight. She was like,
mm,
it never came up about race. And I was like, yo, this, like, again, I'm getting my nails done for a wedding. So talking wedding talk. And then that just like,
yeah,
you know, and I was like, dang. And it started making me think about the different stories and the different friends we have. And like I said, we talk about our upbringing, and it's unique to a lot of our friends because they didn't have that same
yeah, for
uh,
sure.
upbringing and disconnected things. But what about being disconnected from your own race? And not because they kept you from it, but I can't teach you what I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think I mean that makes sense, right? Like when you talk about a single mom having a son, and you hear the words like, "I can't teach you how to be a man."
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense because they're and just like for me, like even with the girls, I can't teach you what it's like to be a woman. Like I don't know what that feels like and what that's going to come with.
Mm-hmm.
However, I can teach you the respect that I want you to have for yourself. What how to be intentional, how to ease the load when from like from your partner whenever you get to that stage because
Mm-hmm.
as a man this is what I want.
Do you think that ever? your discomfort with certain things has either limited your conversations with your daughters, or do you find yourself growing? And I'll give you an example. Remember, I was scared to ask my dad to buy me pads when
Mm.
I first moved in with him at 16. And he blew my mind and was like, "Girl, I've been buying pads since, you know." And he went to the
Yeah,
store
yeah,
proudly, came
yeah,
back with a candy
yeah,
bar every time.
yeah,
And I was like, here I am, and I'm experiencing it and grossed out, and this man has embraced it better than me.
yeah.
So, have you found yourself either like realizing things aren't as closed-minded or as gross, or do you find yourself still struggling to have certain conversations because they're your daughters?
I think uh, when it comes to like using kind of like the pads as an example,
Hmm.
like buying pads or whatever, I that has never been an issue. Because I had to go to the store for my granny. Go buy me like so like god damn it. With some food stamps because the liquor store took the food stamps if you wanted to buy whatever you want. So, just little things like that. So I was built different. I think for me and and this conversation I have with myself, like you really have to grow with the time.
Hmm.
And what I mean by that is that see, we I was quote unquote sheltered.
Hmm.
Um, and I was only exposed to things if,
If they
coach,
wanted you to be.
yeah, and an AAU coach came and picked me up to take me somewhere, or we played basketball in a different, like that was my exposure, right? Like it wasn't picking up a phone and seeing X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Like it was conversation with your boys, or they may bring something from home, and whatever the case may be. And so the exposure now, though, is at our fingertips. And I think that's the struggle that I'm having is that I want to deliver the information at a slow pace than what it's um than what they're
Then what time
yeah,
allows you?
yeah. And
Not
so
time, but what this generation allows you. Yeah.
exactly. So, my oldest is having this, and I know it comes with the time in terms of like what like curious about relationships and things and and I understand like that's has to happen. But what I tell her is that for me, there's a way that I want it to happen. I don't
Mm,
want meeting somebody on social media or whatever. Like, no, like stumble across and land in somebody's arms walking to into a movie theater or something. Like be like, but
are
that's
you giving me
exagger.
pointers?
No, that's me exaggerating, but that's um that authenticity that we felt when we met someone.
Right. But I also feel like, and this is interesting because I think this is one of those roundtable talks where we need to get multiple friends, right?
Yeah.
In this conversation, because it's bigger than just you and I, obviously. But I also think we are falling into the gap of our grandparents and our
Mm,
parents on what they said to us, and then we was like, what, that don't make
yeah.
no sense.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
gave the example that my dad was like, I can't date till I was 25.
Yeah.
Well, at 18 he driving me to Krispy Kreme to find out if I was gay, and I was like, it raises us confused,
Yeah.
because then I'm like, wait, so I could have just been dating all this time,
Uh,
without consequence. But now that you're questioning my sexuality because I was obedient and wasn't, I mean, yeah, I had like little phone boyfriends or whatever, but
yeah.
like I wasn't sneaking out, I wasn't active or anything like that. And matter of fact, I wasn't even 18, I was 17. And it was just like, oh wow. So now I'm confused on where your parenting is telling me, because you said 25 and you were
Mm,
super adamant. And then now 17, you're wondering if I like girls because you see all my homegirls come over.
yeah.
And then the homeboys I do have, I can't pursue them out loud
Yeah.
because of the threat you made. But now it's like, here we are given these unrealistic expectations, and that is how you meet somebody. Like, no, I
Yeah.
get it. Like, ideally,
Yeah.
I want you to
Yeah.
meet somebody in person. But in these times, how realistic is that in comparisons to how we grew up?
Yeah, I, yeah. I think obviously there's a answer for both sides, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I think that was my whole rebuttal with them getting social media,
Mm.
because I knew that it takes away from that, right? And I say this all the time. Like, if we got rid of social media for about 2 3 years, everything will go back to, I wouldn't say the way it was, because depending on who you are and the way you were brought up, like, you don't want to go back to those moments, right?
Yeah, because
When it
some
used to
people won't
be.
make it.
Exactly, exactly. But I think it just teaches, there's a unspoken life lesson within that I feel that will benefit the majority.
I mean, yeah and no.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah,
you
exactly.
know, there's a lot of undiagnosed people.
Hmm.
And so yeah, it may filter out in one way of being more of a good, you know, a good thing.
Yeah,
But then on the downside, you have suicide rates will go up,
yeah.
crime rates will go up, right? Things that like social media is really the devil's advocate on
Hmm.
so many levels. But also, let's talk about how social media and just devices in general have allowed people to break away in order to entertain. Like when the baby is doing too much, you put the iPad in front of it, right?
Hmm.
Like, and it gives them that outlet. So you start thinking about, yes, we able to survive before this stuff existed? Most definitely.
Hmm.
But the adaptation of things have changed too, and even how we function. And I don't want to go too far off of that because I want to bring it back to these babies and how they're experiencing life right now, but they don't know life without it.
Yeah, yeah. I get it.
And I,
No, I get it.
and
I
so it
get.
makes me wonder, like, what can we how do we infuse both worlds, right? Like the balance. It goes back to
Yeah,
balance.
yeah. I think what I said and what I need to start doing is really trying to engage my daughters in social activities, and also reading the book, and having those discussions behind the book, right? Like there are teenage books that I wouldn't mind reading, that like, hey, what you think about that? What you think about this? And again, though, I think for me, and what I've shown growth in, it's not really telling her what to do. It's just really explaining why.
Right.
Like
And
why.
that's the why in everything is always the top tier uh
Exactly.
example of what how you can figure out what people are. But when you just said something, it just made me think about it. It's all these different TV series going on. What if you
Hmm.
guys start watching these TV series together but
Love
separately, right?
Island.
Right. You said what?
Love Island. Stupid ass stuff. But go ahead. It's my personal
uh,
opinion.
but you know it, but it's other stuff, it's other
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
It
yeah,
don't have to
yeah,
be,
yeah, yeah,
it could be
yeah,
something you monitor and choose for yourselves because it's that, and they have digital, you know, books that you can read together. But I'm learning so much listening to folks, like even at the wedding I was at, yet I was in yesterday, the best man mentioned that his brother, the groom, has a deeper relationship with the best man's son because they both are gamers. And so because they both have the same system, they'll play games, but they'll be catching up during the game.
yeah. Mm,
And he realized that his son was bonding more with his brother because they use that device as a
mm,
communication tool and
yeah,
entertainment.
yeah,
So I'm thinking that's something that y'all can possibly do. It don't even have to be, um, you know, all these violent
yeah, yeah,
TV
yeah,
shows
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff.
No, for sure.
But I mean,
I
that's
hear
just a suggestion. And I just know that there's so many things to unpack from us both. We're going through learning curves
you.
with our
Yeah,
parents, with the kids in our life. You know, even as an aunt and a godmom. Like, you know, my oldest god baby just, you know, first year in college. and I be sitting there nervous, waiting on her to
Yeah.
say something crazy, but ain't nothing crazy came up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but also, I would love to end on the fact of, you asked me how I was feeling. I said grateful when I was talking to Nicole about, not being able to say the N word as far as she was concerned and not growing up with the Black influence. I grew very appreciative of my Black
Mm.
ass experience
Yeah.
because, baby, let me say this. I love us.
Yeah.
And when we get to like, one thing we take for granted is we can find community in abbreviations. We
Mm.
can find community in memes that only as a Black person we get. Like
Yeah.
we will get it. And I was like, oh my goodness, it will suck to be out the loop.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. For sure.
So anyway, how do you want to end? I want to, no, that's not what I want to say. I want to end on what is one of the best things about being Black for you? Like, what is it a good experience you had because of being Black?
Oh, I don't know.
There's so many of them, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think really just sharing like I don't know. Ooh, that's a good question. We might have to come back on that one.
Okay. Because I sit back and I have some experiences that I'd be like, would I have this if I was a non-Black
Yeah,
person,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Like, even down to like being in the mall and the right song come on and you able to vibe out and you look at
yeah,
each other and you start laughing
yeah,
or you recite a movie out loud or something and
yeah,
somebody else pick it up.
yeah, yeah,
But
no, for sure.
I love the humor that we are able to find with each other even in the darkest times.
Yeah, for
Like the
sure.
internet is full of that. That
Yeah,
is top tier energy. Like when I see a
yeah,
meme or something funny, even when life is like it's the coldest little
yeah,
situation, and it made me realize like as Black people, you either laugh or you drown.
yeah, no, for
And
sure.
a lot of us are choosing to laugh, even with all
This,
the things that are
this
happening in the world.
crazy, the crazy, the craziness, for
Right.
sure.
Well, with that being
Being
said,
said, since you messed up and why,
why
be negative.
be negative?
I ain't messing with you.
Yeah, we
Goodbye.
did it.
Goodbye. All right.
Bye.
Bye.